Hello, this is Miss Schrader. Today we're going to be talking about the Hagia Sophia, which you can see in the picture right here. My students, you are going to want a piece of paper and something to write with which to take notes. When you're done, you want to be giving me 5 sentences about what you found interesting, important, significant about the Hagia Sophia. You want to make sure you have a strong introductory statement. The Hagia Sophia is important because of something. Okay, let's get started. So here you have some basic facts. One of the most important one is the correct way to pronounce it. It looks like Hagia Sophia, but it's actually pronounced Hagia Sophia, which means holy wisdom. It was originally built as an Eastern Orthodox church in 537 CE. Later, it became a Roman Catholic church. Then it went back to being an Eastern Orthodox church. In 453, it became a mosque, and in 1935, it became a museum and a UNESCO site. UNESCO, remember, means that it is universally admired, respected by everyone in the world, a world site. In July of 2020, they started turning it back into a mosque, which has caused an enormous amount of controversy, actually. The president of Turkey basically said that by turning it back into a mosque, you no longer have to charge money for people to come in. So we are going to have to wait and see what happens. So the city in which the Hagia Sophia is in is today called Istanbul, and it used to be called Constantinople, and before that it was called Byzantium. I'm going to go ahead and call it Istanbul since that's what it's called today. I was looking for a map to try and show you the importance of the location of Istanbul. You want to see it here on this map. It's kind of in the center, next to the Black Sea. Istanbul is a city that literally marks the point where Europe and Asia meet. So if you're on one side of the Black Sea, in what they're referring to as Anatolia, Turkey, then you are in Asia. But if you are on the other side, then you are in Europe. That's how close it is. You should also look at the importance of this. You know, it's there along the Black Sea, it's connected to the Mediterranean. When everything was done by big ships, controlling this location was significantly important. If you control the spot where Istanbul is, you can prevent ships from going back and forth. And really, it was a place that everybody wanted to control. You know that the city was originally built by Constantine, or made large by Constantine. That's why it's called Constantinople, for the very reason I just mentioned, because of its location. And the reason that the Muslims wanted to get control of it later on was, once again, because of its location. Here we have a drawing of what the Hagia Sophia probably looked like in its earliest days. There had been a church on this site many times, frequently burnt down, things like that. But in 537, the Emperor Justinian decided he wanted to have a big cathedral there. And he's the one who built this original building. And so it was built as an Eastern Orthodox church. That means it's going to have that big high dome that you can see there. And it would have had a lot of Christian symbolism in it. And I'm going to show you some of those in a minute. And here we have the dome of the Hagia Sophia. It is 107 feet in diameter. That means around. At one time, it was one of the largest domes in the world. You notice the little bitty dome off to the side? There's actually 3 of those little smaller domes off to the side. And from the inside, it's really beautiful. Let's take a look. Okay, so here it is from the interior. Isn't it beautiful? Below it, you can see one of those little side domes. You should be noticing, and I'm going to show a better picture in a minute, that this is all done in a mosaic geographical style, like the art of Islam. At one time inside here, they would have had images of Jesus and Mary. And here you can see the dome as if you were standing directly underneath it. And you can see a couple of these smaller domes coming up towards it. Now here you can see the interior of the Hagia Sophia with quite a few tourists in it. It is the largest tourist site in Turkey. the country that now controls this area. And so huge numbers of people go there. As you can see, during the daylight, if it's sunny, the light just spills in because it has so many windows. You should also be able to see some of the Islamic symbols that have been put up in various different places. Remember, in Islam, it's either a geometric shape or it is calligraphy. And this is calligraphy that is basically just saying or using the word God. When the Muslims took over the Hagia Sophia in 1453, they decided to cover up a lot of the Christian artwork since that is not the way they do their art. Some of it was painted over with whitewash. Some of it they simply put cloth over it. Some of it, I'm told, they really didn't want to damage it because they did think it was beautiful art. Isn't that nice? Then, when they changed the Hagia Sophia to a museum in 1935, they uncovered some of this Christian art to show it because they're talking about the history of the building. Now that they have decided to turn it back into a mosque, it's very uncertain as to what will happen with some of this Christian art. What you're seeing here is a very lovely medieval painting of Mary and Jesus. And if we pull back from that picture of Mary and Jesus, you can see that it is flanked by Islamic calligraphy because it has been a mosque. And I think this is really nice. I like the fact that they have something from both of the different religions. Here we have the image in one of those side domes, which is very much an Islamic image. You can see the geometric shapes and, of course, all the calligraphy written through it. And this would be stuff from the Quran, the Islamic holy book. The tall pillars that you see off to the side of the Hagia Sophia, those are called minarets. Those were built after the Hagia Sophia became a mosque. And the purpose behind a minaret would be that at the appropriate times of the day, someone would go to the top of the minaret and call out to people that it was time to pray. And everybody would stop what they were doing and start praying. In the original days, people would not have any kind of a megaphone or anything to help them, so it would have to be someone with a big, loud, booming voice. But they have 4 of them outside of the Hagia Sophia. I understand they are made of red brick, though they must be painted. In the modern era, there's actually a lot of archaeological research being done around the Hagia Sophia to learn more about its history, about its architecture, etc. And there's a lot of uncertainty right now, since they are converting it back from a museum into a mosque, on how it will be used and whether people will be allowed to go in and things like that. At the moment, they're saying, yes, everybody is welcome to come in. So we really don't know. All right, my students, we have been watching and learning a little bit about the Hagia Sophia. You are giving me 5 to 7 sentences about what you found interesting, important, educational. You make sure you have your strong introductory sentence, and I hope you enjoyed this. Bye.